You already know this is about to be stupid.
Whoa. How about the range? Face me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa, this a new range, new page. Got me in a new country, new stage. I ain't signed no deal, I'm too paid. I do not have chill, I'm too crazy. I do not take L's, I'm too Brady. I might be frosted, I'm not flaky. Don't know what it cost me.
You already know this is about to be stupid.
Whoa. How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your face me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa, this a new range, new page. Got me in a new country, new stage. I ain't signed no deal, I'm too paid. I do not have chill, I'm too crazy. I do not take L's, I'm too Brady. I might be frosted, I'm not flaky. Don't know what it cost me, it's all gravy. Turn on that faucet and just pay me. Whoa, we gon' get it, bring it back. Maybe Donald is a Mac. Couple bottles, empty glass. New machine, I'm sending facts. Bump the headline, check the facts. I'm not a gangster, but I'm a gorilla. Hop on them drums when I'm feeling J Dilla. Come get your lady, cause I'm a just stealer.
How about the range? Whoa. Yeah, I'm feeling strange. Whoa.
How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your face me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa. There's no comparison, black in America, little too arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant. I shouldn't mention it, that's royal etiquette. Out of my element, way too intelligent. Grab you a therapist, send him my sentiments. Neck full of sediments, caught me a Tesla and skirt through the valley. Dropped an investment in Silicon Valley. All of this cake, but I'm missing the patty. Might mess around and just move to Miami. Drums are so loud that they break in the chassis. King of the grass like a Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors that labels as testing.
How about the range? Whoa. Yeah, I'm feeling strange. Whoa.
How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your face me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa. How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your face me.
How about the range? Whoa. Yeah, I'm feeling strange. Whoa.
Check, 1, 2, ayy, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satty. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a hot king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Now my shit's popping, oh and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah, that's the thing, happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah, we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satty. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit, I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your mouths is just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo, last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just throw that they satty. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stop treating them nice.
Where I come from, streets is made of gold. Trapping like the new me, move back like the old me. On my back like Yoshi, yeah. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
Can't beat them, join them. One life, enjoy it. Live like you royal. Hell with purpose, let's destroy it. You think I'm joking? It's every word that's spoken. And rap these days is trapping crazy. Can get away with anything with 808s. They spell and pray and swell your brain. You fade away, your soul decay. They dig and graze. I'm A-okay. Just fast and pray. There'll come a day, a price to pay. Like Sally May, you in debt. So cast away your regrets. I digress. They regress. They treat girls like objects. They play around like recess. This rap game is nonsense. They big mad cause we bless. A goon to a goblin. You offset, I onset. I'm onset with wine in my goblet. You whining for God, I just pulled out the projects assigned to these haters. I feed off your comments, shake greed off my palms and take knees like I'm Colin. Take heat or just rot and just bleed while you falling in.
Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
Sitting, waiting, sinning lately, getting lazy, lighting up, you getting hazy. Kinda light just doesn't faze me, hating things that rap portraying. Ricky Bobby shaking bacon, Ricky Bobby shaking, me and Evo breaking up. I just hung up on the plug. Look at me like, why you bugging? Now they all like, what the what? Look at them like, why you thugging? Want my soul, want my gifts, want my heart for fame and money. Gotta admit, I almost did it. Turn around and started running.
Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
Man, it's too early in the morning for this shit. But let's get it. Yeah. Ay, all of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's are blue, but the product is gray. I'm dropping slappers to hell with an album. Might fuck around and go see Jimmy Fallon. I multiply while you bury your talents, cause I'm like a hawk when I bury my talents. Guess what I'm saying? I pray on these niggas. There was a day when I'd pray for these niggas. Now I got nothing to say to these niggas. I pray that God does away with these niggas. I keep my friends close, but my enemies closer. My mental is gross, but my verses are kosher. These girls going wild, but I'm not a poacher, so I just keep shining like Elon, I'm solar. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's are blue, but the product is green. Gotta make this money, only game I know. I'm the only king, this ain't no Game of Thrones. Everybody wanna be a fucking king until it's time to do what a king does. Everywhere I look, it's just kids and drugs. Everywhere I look, it's just gangs and thugs. Can't tame the guns, can't save our loved ones. I grew my funds and I called the plug. Then I filled my lungs, I don't mess with that new shit. Y'all talking tough, but ain't none of y'all do shit. Y'all chasing money, you want the exposure. Y'all think y'all funny and snake Gucci loafers. I don't give disclaimers, I rap full disclosure. These niggas all think they were born in October. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have stacks on plus stacks when I'm older. Stacks when I'm older. Yeah, stacks when I'm older. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have millions in cash when I'm older. All of y'all talking, but I just win. Papa Swole put nuts on their chin. Like Everson K2 get mountains of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's are blue, but the product is green.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
America, fuck yeah!
Here's 4th of July.
I use fat as a word that describes myself.
Welcome to
America.
Screw your freedom.
And these people love it.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3105 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on? Beaches, booshes, buses, hustlers, and yill hoes. It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beescast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
All right, fam. Let's get into it. Hashtag lift for a chance to win today's Swole card. I am obviously wearing the greatest shirt probably ever created. Let me hit that button right there. All right, this is the brand new Lift merch over at papaswolio.com. Probably the greatest shirt ever created. Look at that. Lift. Fight indeed, but lift also important. So make sure you check it out, papaswolio.com. Today is Election Day in the United States, and it is a turning point for our republic. So make sure you go vote. If you have 3 brain cells to rub together, vote Trump and educate yourself. There's some great podcasts that are out there if you need to educate yourself last minute. A lot of you probably have voted already, so drop in the comments down below if you've done so, and I'm sure you can argue and comment whatever you want down below. We're going to get into it. We got some stories. Joe Rogan last night. Very smart move and the right timing too. Publicly endorsed Trump. That conversation with Elon Musk is a great listen. Everyone should do so. I kind of wish it was a little bit earlier. I kind of wish it was like a day or two earlier so more people had a chance to listen to the whole thing because a lot of people are working. And, most people have made up their minds already. But Elon Musk very succinctly explains, he's so brilliant, very succinctly explains all the reasons to vote for Trump and what the Democrats are actually trying to do and what the establishment is trying to do and how they're trying to architecture future elections. And a lot of times people don't think that these things are actually happening because they're looking at a situation from within the paradigm. What you're trying to do with a lot of us is you're looking at a lot of things that are happening, and we'll get into the episode in just a moment. You're looking at things that are happening, trying to make sense of them, but they don't make sense. It's because your framework is incorrect. And there's a famous quote from Ayn Rand from Atlas Shrugged, and I don't want to butcher it, but essentially it says that there are no contradictions. If you come across a contradiction, check your premises. One of them is sure to be wrong. So it's very important to understand that when you have a party, when you have people that are saying that they want to save democracy, that they want the best for this country, but their actions do exactly the opposite, there are no contradictions. If you reframe your premises and you actually go back to base principles, what the outcome is, you'll find the objective. You'll find the reason for what is happening, and then everything starts to come together and make sense. And the problem is a lot of people don't want to view those things. They don't want to see that. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to allow that in because it's scary. And most people have been protected in this little bubble. We've had it pretty good. We had 9/11. We've had war. There's in individual lives. We're talking overall in this country. And those of you that lived through the 90s, you know that in terms like culturally and financially, there were really good times in the last, 20, 30 years. And a lot of us have just gotten a little bit too, not to put too fine a point on it, fat. We've gotten fat and lazy in the sense that we've had good times. We've had good times. We've had a lot of great, a lot of greatness in this country, a lot of progress, actual progress, technological progress, economic progress, social progress. And when things get easy, when you are raised in an indoctrination system, everyone's going to high school and college, and you're kept in this little bubble and you're coddled, you fear things. This is why we have just an explosion of anxiety, an explosion of depression. We have a lot of health issues in this country. And when you have this constant existential threat of climate, when you have this constant existential threat of systemic racism, when you have all these fracturings in the rhetoric that's spread by the left, what you do is you have this fear of being exposed to stress. And the chronic fear, because you can't handle it. If you're not equipped to handle stress, if you're not equipped to handle tough times, you fear those times. And it's very easy to, quote unquote, other different people, to blame a different side, to find a scapegoat, to blame other people for your problems. And it's just important to understand where we are as a country, where we are as a culture. And I know a lot of you are dealing with this. I know a lot of you are dealing with this with family and friends, people that have strong opinions but do not have facts and do not have logic to back it up. And you can't argue with people that do not have they don't share the same facts. They're not listening to long form podcasts or looking at CNN or MSNBC, and they're just spouting essentially propaganda narratives. But we are at a turning point. We are at that crossroads. And it's very important to check your premises, to understand that the open borders, to understand that the inflation, to understand that the demonization of healthy foods, of meat, of raw dairy to understand that the constant fear mongering, Trump is Hitler, there's systemic racism, reparations, all this bullshit that's essentially the neo-racism and the Marxist uprising, the victim class, the oppressed and the oppressors. This constant rhetoric from the left, it is designed for destruction. That is what the left does. It deconstructs. It deconstructs math, 2 + 2 = 5. It deconstructs male versus female. It blurs the lines between good versus evil because there is no religion. There is no morality. The left has no morality. The only morality is power. This is what we're looking at. When you look at it through the proper framework, it all makes sense. The actions match. And if you don't know your history, this might seem like a long shot. If I'm talking over your head and you don't understand, you just haven't educated yourself enough on the topics. And that's unfortunate, but it's okay. A lot of people are similar. So it's understand to know what we're up against and to vote accordingly. And unfortunately, a lot of people are suckers for the propaganda. They will look at the headlines, they will move on. They are suckers for pressure. A lot of people had their own integrity broken when they were forced to take experimental drugs in the last few years. They have to justify their decisions. They have to justify their team, their party, their tribe. So it's unfortunate. That's why there's such a strong rift. And it was well done. It was well done. But we have a chance today to push back. We have a chance. We have a bunch of great people that have a lot of great policies that have actually articulated the policies. We've had experience with a successful economy and the prosperity of the Trump original presidency. And we know the contrast of the last 4 years that have been an absolute hot plate of garbage. So if you want to save America, you will vote for Donald Trump. You can vote for whomever you want, but I implore you to look objectively at the facts and the reality and not the headlines, not the propaganda, and dig deeper. It's a little bit late for that, but hopefully you do, or you will, at least in the future. And it takes a strong person to admit when they're wrong. It takes a strong person to look at their own convictions or prior convictions and understand where they may have been misled, because everyone has that ego. You have that ego thinking you can't be wrong. Your perspective is correct because it's your perspective and that's all you know. So it's important to expand your horizons, listen to conversations, listen to both sides. And this is a reason why you have people that are, I don't want to say necessarily on the right, but people that are actually pro-family, pro-America, that are choosing to vote for Trump. Not everyone likes Trump. It's not about liking the person. You don't have to like how he says things. You have to look at the actions and look at the successful outcomes of his policies and of his previous presidency and the people that he brings on board and that he surrounds himself with and the improvements that he's made on prior mistakes. If you can't be objective and you can't look at these things and you can't humble yourself by looking at what is actually occurring, then you're part of the problem. Perhaps the banality of evil. People that are ignorant, are happy being ignorant, or willfully ignorant even, and have no interest in actually listening to both sides. So what I was saying is people that do choose to vote for Trump or have been, they do listen to both sides. They listen to conversations with Democrats or Republicans or liberals and conservatives, and they argue the points. Liberals scream and cry and yell and have nothing substantive to reply to except Trump bad, Trump orange, Trump Hitler. And they know nothing of the other side. They know nothing of the second and third order consequences of their delusional deconstructionist narrative. They don't think about the side effects. They want higher wages. Pay us more money. They don't understand how the economy works. They don't understand what that does to production. They want to tax the rich because they're jealous, because they don't want to put in the effort, because they're envious of other people and they want their power. They don't understand that the wealthy in this country are the ones that create the jobs. I'm not saying it's a perfect system. It never will be. But there's a lot of ignorance and willful ignorance. So that's a lot to unpack. It was a nice starting rant. Wasn't expecting to go that hard on it. But I hope you make an informed decision. And I guess everyone's going to come to their own quote unquote informed solution, whether or not it's actually informed. But this is the turning of the tide. And I think this cycle has shown to everyone that the future of politics or this country has to come from long form discourse, like people that are going on Rogan's podcast or other podcasts that are 1, 2, 3 hours long, not the stupid debates that have been useless for years and years and years, just 3 minutes, 1 minute response. These things don't help anyone. If we really want to move forward as a society, we need to flesh out these issues in totality. And you have to look at who can actually hold a conversation. Vivek can hold a conversation. Tulsi can explain in depth and have a conversation. RFK can do so eloquently. Trump, he'll say a lot of stuff that you might not like to hear, but he actually has actionable things to do. He will explain what he will do and how he will do it. And JD Vance, extremely brilliant. Elon Musk, likewise. Joe Rogan can articulate a point, can listen to both sides. You have people that can actually articulate issues and can address the problem and come up with constructive solutions. That's the best for the country, which is the point, not for the individual, for the country. And on the left, all you have are platitudes and you have nonsense. You have worthless celebrity endorsements. You have Trump bad, other side bad. You don't have anything of actual value. You have literal destruction. And you have to look at what's actually happening and open your eyes and not just listen to the empty platitudes, just the empty words. Look at what's actually happening. The outcome is what this structure is designed to do. Look at what's happening to our country. Look at where the money is going. And unfortunately, we have a lot of people that are trying to cosplay the Joker. I just want to burn it down. Yeah, fuck all this. They're just pessimistic. And they're fatalistic, and they don't have children. They have no hope. They're consuming garbage food, sucking down tons of pharmaceuticals. They're just staring at their phones all day. They're miserable. So they want the world to burn. A lot of times, and you guys know this from getting healthy, if you start eating healthy and taking care of yourself, what happens? Sometimes people around you kind of give you shit for it. They push back because they feel the mirror turned on them, because you're getting better and you're taking care of yourself and you're overcoming your demons, and they get offended by that and they get defensive and they give you shit like, oh, come on, just come out for a beer, come out for a drink. You don't need to eat that. What are you going to do? You're a bodybuilder now. And they'll give you shit for taking care of yourself. It's the same people that want to see the world burn. They feel better when they see other people suffer. It's a similar mindset. It's a weak mindset. It's a victim mindset. And it's a very destructive mindset. So that being said, hashtag lift, lift, lift. Drop down in the comments. Let's get into that tippy. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right. First Swole fan post is from Christian.
What's in the box?
Christian, talk to me. Let's do this. Today I ran my second 5K race in a long time. I used to run a lot when I was younger. In the summer, because I have time, running becomes a regular part of my training. However, when the school year starts again, it is hard to continue running and I shift back to weights and yoga. This summer, I made myself a promise. I would keep running even when the school year started again. Little did I know how much I would need it. This year has been emotionally tough. I've lost 2 close friends. We all lost Christy Mayberry. I still miss her every day. I still want to text her at times and get hit hard in the gut when I remember I can't text her anymore. In September, I lost another very close friend. At my age, to be able to say you have a close friend is a blessing. This friend would definitely qualify as one of my best friends. She died suddenly, and I am still feeling lots of anger, grief, and maybe a bit of denial about her loss. Running has been very good for me during this season of grief. It has been a great way to help me shut off my head, my emotions, and find a release of a lot of pent-up energy that needs to get out. Today, I placed first in my age group in the 5K that I ran, and that felt pretty damn good. I'm training for a half marathon, so I'm focusing my training and energy on that goal and on healing and working through this grief and letting go of a lot of anger at these losses of 2 amazing women who were taken far too soon. Much love to you all. Stay healthy, stay strong, and stay swole. I love it. Good for you. Good for you, Christian. Love it. Brian says, Excited to be starting the 90-day dash. Good for you, Brian. To improve being consistent at the gym and hold myself accountable. Good for you, Brian. Let us know how it goes. Stay focused. These are some accountability responses. Maggie says, I'm going to hit some sprints twice this week, and to get rugby practice, going to hit all 4 of my planned lift sessions too. Get it, Max? Let's get into a couple of email responses. If you're not on the email list, go to makeemailswoleagain.com. Let me zoom out on that. Again, that's in your description. Makeemailswoleagain.com. Go and sign up for the email list. First response to the email, don't feel like training today. Janice says, hello. Hello. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. Yesterday, I didn't train. It wasn't because I didn't feel like it or didn't have motivation. It was just one of these days that pushed me more into creating stuff. I did start and finish 2 new projects, 1 new cat scratch pad, and a greeny square for my advent calendar. Sounds very exciting. So I destroyed 2 boxes and some glue. I decided this year not to buy an advent calendar, but to fill one with 2 to 4 squares each day. I don't know what that is. What's an advent calendar? By New Year, I'll have a homemade blanket. This is all over the place. I'm enjoying it. It's like meditation when I crochet. So I'm doing 2 things at the same time. This is my first greeny square, so it has some mistakes in it, but now I know how to do it. I'm proud of it. It was a mental exercise. Be good. Cool. Thank you for that. I'm glad you're crocheting. Sounds very nice. Following up with a barbell row question. And I think it's in the title of the episodes. Barbell row was, what was that, last week? Oh, granny square? Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Freya, if someone wants to let me know what I just read, drop in the comments. I'll clarify that. So if I read it wrong, I just read it how it was written, maybe. So last week we talked about barbell. We talked about barbell row in one of the episodes. I think the question was, if I remember correctly, it was underhand or overhand grip if it hits the back in a different way. So let's get a little bit of a context with this. Tanya says, thank you for your response in the podcast. I really appreciate it. I looked up the transcript. I didn't know Apple Podcasts had the full transcripts of your show. I didn't know either. Did anyone else know that? I'd love to see those transcripts. I wonder if it's accurate, because I say a lot of random stuff and words that are not in the English language. To take in all the advice you gave about how to handle rows and other exercise you mentioned for making my back muscles stronger. In April, I was doing overhead presses and upright rows. My back muscles weren't strong enough to pull the load, and my upper trapezius muscles overcompensated to help. It felt like I broke my neck. I couldn't move my neck left or right for a week. This was a few months before I joined the Swole fam. Anyway, since then, I've been trying to make all the muscles stronger so that doesn't happen ever again. That's another reason why I decided to do the 90-day dash and why I'm following the shoulder mobility program. I have been following your program since July and still no new injuries. Well, that's great. That's great. Follow up with the barbell row. I thought maybe you had another question. So sorry to hear about your neck. And it might feel like you broke your neck. It's usually, look, people tweak muscles in their neck, and there's so many small stabilizers and so many there's levator scapula, you have the upper traps. There's a lot of small muscles that you tweak and you kind of strain a couple fibers, your neck's going to lock up, just because any kind of motion will cause a lot of pain. And the issue is, when you have an injury with your neck, most people don't realize how often you're moving your neck. But once you have a muscle that you strained, you notice every single degree, every single flinch, you cough, you sneeze, it hurts. So a lot of times people think that it's worse than it is. It's really just a small muscle or a few fibers or something that's tweaked or strained. And it just feels a lot worse than it is because it's so incapacitating. So just keep that in mind. A lot of times people think they hurt something and they think I pinched a nerve. It just feels like a sharp pain, but it's not a nerve pinch. A nerve pinch will usually radiate down your entire leg or your entire arm. It doesn't feel like a sharp pinch in a location. It's just so painful. It feels like it's quote unquote, pinching a nerve, but that's just explaining how it feels, not necessarily the physiology of what's happening. So I like upright rows. Upright rows are great. They're underrated. I like them on a Smith machine. I like upright rows on a Smith machine. It's a good exercise for the middle deltoid. It's a good one if you do it properly. So I'm glad you're making progress. I'm glad you are doing your mobility. And if you have any kind of recurring injuries like that, you're hurting your neck often, you're doing something, you're tweaking something over and over again, it's usually a movement pattern. You're doing something wrong foundationally, and it's leading to that kind of imbalance and that recurring injury. So let's get into some questions. If you want to call into the show, feel free to call in anytime. We'll feature your question in an upcoming episode. AskPapaSwolio.com. Go to AskPapaSwolio.com, record up to a minute, and we will be happy to feature you in an upcoming episode. Let's get into some Instagram questions, and we'll take some live questions. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio, so drop that in the chat. Rumble, drop in the chat, and let's get into the first question. Knowledge Cock time. CEO Ofindia 258, Papa Swolio, how to cut? All right, vague questions are going to get trolled. How to cut? Caloric deficit, but also just building muscle. You don't want to lose weight, you want to lose fat. So focus on improving your strength, rep strength, build muscle, and quality food, 7 pillars, right? It's not just the calories, also what food you're eating, getting your hormones in check, quality sleep, all those things, proper hydration, proper program design. So building muscle and managing your overall caloric intake. You could build muscle on maintenance. You just have to increase your maintenance over time as you build muscle. So you don't have to be in a crazy surplus. A lot of people, we always talk about that. You don't just need to be in maintenance or maybe slightly above. You really just need sufficient food and you'll build muscle, and then you increase your maintenance to maintain your new muscle mass as you build it, because you have a lot of energy stored on your body, and most people don't understand what muscle is, what fat is. They don't understand what a calorie is and how it works. People still think you change fat into muscle. Fat's just going to like morph into muscle, and of course that's not how it works. So I recommend CEO Findia. Go to swolenormousx.com, download your copy of the 7 pillars, start there, start learning the fundamentals, and happy to take a more detailed question after you start getting into it. Liam Stamos 3689. Legitimately, do you do anything special for your hair? I don't. I always say hair, skin, nails, it comes down to your nutrition. Sunlight, proper fat, collagen, protein, all these things are important. So I'll wash it once a week, maybe less, maybe once every 2 weeks. I'll get it done by, Mama Swolio that's her thing. Hair, skin, nails, makeup. So that's her business. But we use all natural stuff. We don't use anything with phthalates or parabens and no toxic chemicals, things like that. You can even wash your hair with like coconut oil and egg yolks, and you can really do the natural stuff. But most people are washing their hair too often. They're stripping the hair of their natural oils and this, that, and the other. But it really starts with proper nutrition. If your hair is all thin and fraying and you're eating like crap, whatever you put in your hair it's only going to do so much. It's like having a blurry picture. You take a picture at night on your phone and you're moving your camera, right? You're moving your camera, you take a picture and it's blurry and it's dark and it's overexposed. And then you try to sharpen it and make it really sharp. It's only going to be able to get so sharp. You're only going to be able to lighten it and edit it and tweak it and use AI to sharpen it. You're only going to be able to do so much. Same thing with hair. You can only do so much if it doesn't start with all on the inside. Austin Zukovs, Papa Swolio, do you have any good lower body mobility exercises? I most certainly do. In Swolenormous X, check out the ankle masterclass, the knee masterclass, and the hip mobility masterclasses. So there's a lot of great exercise I can just tell you, and you can look them up. You could join Swolenormous X. You can jump into all the masterclasses, the Swollen Sevens. Bottom line, what mobility is strength through a full range of motion. And I mean, that's kind of what strength training is too, but mobility is really more about, maximizing the plasticity of the connective tissue as well. It's really much more focused on ligaments and tendon lengths and things like Jefferson curls. And also it's integrated movements. So you isolate certain areas, but also integration. So it's thoracic rotation. Jefferson curls are fantastic. Also activating muscles on opposing sides of the body, like the anterior tibialis, to mobilize the ankle joints. There's hip strengthening is very important. Hip flexor work. There's a lot of things that are important. So I have a lot of good lower body mobility exercise. Yoga is great. Yoga is a great one that I just say, in general, because rather than explaining and just giving you names of exercise that you have to look up, and whether or not you look up the proper video, unless you're joining the Swole fam and you're looking at what we're doing, of course, I know we're doing it correctly inside X, but if you just Google some of these, you might see some variety with the form. But there's a lot of, just recommending yoga in general will hit a lot of these bases, because with yoga, a lot of people avoid yoga because it's challenging. Well, it's challenging because you don't practice it. And yoga will expose a lot of these imbalances. And a lot of you could probably drop in the comments, that with yoga, you will find that you are not the same on both sides. You'll notice a lot of those like unilateral tightness. You'll notice that, I can go X, Y, and Z distance on the left side, but on the right side, I can't. Or I can twist to the left and I can get all the way and I can get vertically and get my arm up. And on the right side, I feel locked in. So then you expose these weaknesses. And it's very important to have that balance on both sides. And yoga can expose that. And yoga is a great way where you can essentially expose what you need to work on in terms of resistance training. Because a lot of yoga isn't necessarily resistance training. It is when you are trying to adapt to your body weight, but then adding additional weight. There's a lot of great benefits for using the information you gather from yoga with your, notice you're really tight in your ankles, and you add the ankle mobility master classes with the strength from that, and you add yoga that's focusing on the ankles and the knees, and you can target it that way. So inside the yoga studio, we have a lot of those specific classes for wrists and ankles, and we have a lot of that. All right, Kylik 2022, Papa Swole with some meaningful advice for gym newbies. Get this question now and again. What would you tell yourself? Meaningful advice. I don't know. Keep going. Don't quit. Keep it simple. Follow the 7 pillars. There's a lot of meaningful advice. But bottom line, what's getting you results? Getting stronger, getting on a quality program, managing your fatigue, eating properly. I mean, there's a lot of things, but usually it's consistency. It's giving a shit. It's being relentless and being focused on doing it properly and learning. Remember that even when you're training today, you've been training for 20 years. I've been training for, 25 years? I've been training for 25 years. And I'm still learning. I'm still adjusting. I'm still analyzing my program. Mama Swole can tell you, I'm sitting there at the table with my composition book, and I'm looking at it and I'm like saying, okay, how many days? I'm looking at the sets and I'm adjusting my training split. I think about it a lot. I enjoy it, but I think about it. I analyze it. You have to be a student of your own life. You have to be a student of your own progress. And if you have a certain goal or a certain result, you have to work your way backwards. What are you trying to achieve? Be consistent, be ruthlessly disciplined. And the more consistent you are, the better framework you have for making those changes. A lot of times people are doing random shit and they don't know what to train. They don't know what to change. And then I ask, and you guys know this, when someone's saying, hey, what should I eat to do better? What are you currently eating? Well, I do. They don't really have any idea. Hey, how many calories should I be eating for this? I'm trying to get these results. Okay, well, what are you currently doing? And they don't have an answer. How do you know what to change if you don't know what you're currently doing? So tracking these things, being aware, being consistent, having that base level, having that framework, and then slowly adjusting over time and then observing. People aren't patient. They want results right away. They want to do a new training split and see results. You're not going to build muscle for weeks or months. It takes time. If you feel like you're bigger in the next couple days, it's edema. It's muscle swelling. It's blood in the muscles. You're just swollen. You're inflamed. That's not muscle growth. So you have to make sure that you are seeing your reps increase. You're seeing the weight increase. That's the most important thing. And adjusting your nutrition and your sleep and your recovery and your programming, your volume accordingly to that. So if you're trying to build muscle, Kylik, you want to get stronger. You want to see that 100 become 105, become 110, become 115, become 150. You want to see the reps go from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9. If you're getting stronger, you're building muscle over time. And then continue to learn more about your nutrition and go from there. I know that was a lot, but it's really everything that we talk about here. So I would say the best advice for newbies, no joke, shameless plug, 7 pillars. If you're new, you don't have a framework. You need a philosophy. You need a Swolosophy. So go to swolenormousx.com. The link's also in the description. Download the 7 pillars. And that's the framework that you should be focusing on, the things that you can control. And most people don't. Most people don't want to control the things that they can control. They avoid that. They avoid all responsibility, and they just look to a supplement or look to some kind of latest fad to get them the results. And it's not that, it's the hard work. It's the analysis. It's the trial and error. Okay. Questions. Let's get into the last couple questions here. J Harley 9, Papa Solio, how many reps to build the most muscle? It's a good question. There's really no answer to this in terms of the most muscle, but you can build muscle with like 5 to 30 reps. You could build muscle with 25 reps, fam. I don't know if you knew this. If you listen to the show often, you know this, but you could build muscle with a wide range of repetitions. What is important is getting the stimulating reps going within a rep or two of failure and managing fatigue. So in general, my take on it and my recommendation is to train heavier to the point where the reps are lower, like 4 or 5 to 8, 5 to 10, depending on the exercise. Training within a rep or two of failure, maybe 0 reps in reserve up until like 1 or 2, maybe usually 1. I like to train within like 0 to 1. That's where I feel like I'm the most accurate to hit that. And that's going to give you the stimulus while minimizing the fatigue. So what people don't understand is that building muscle is about the repair. It's about the recovery. It's about the progressive overload. And you can't progressively overload if you're fatigued, if you are not recovered from the previous workout, whether it's the consecutive training session of that body part or overall, if you're systemically wiped out. And just keep this in mind that fatigue is not just in the gym. It's not just, and I think a lot of people forget this. We don't talk about it enough. We do, but that's why we have mobility. That's why we have recovery as the 4th pillar. And this is why we also have mindfulness. This is why we talk about sleep and such. If you're stressed out, if you have a lot of family stress, if you have a lot of other things going on, that's going to negatively affect your recovery. That's going to increase your fatigue. Fatigue doesn't just mean, well, I did 2 sets, so now I got to do 1 or 3. If you have a death in the family, if you have a lot of stuff going on, you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep that context as to maybe your reps aren't going to be higher. Maybe they'll be the same. Maybe they'll drop for a day. You have to keep the context and keep moving forward. That's why it's good to journal. That's why it's good to track these things. That's why it's good to track, because it gives you context. Fatigue is not just in the gym. It's also your sleep. You know, you're training and someone breaks into your house. Like, that's emotionally devastating and stressful, and it's going to negatively affect your progress or your ability to see, you know, it's not a perfect vacuum. It's not perfect. Again, some of these things you can't control. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying, hey, well, I had a stressful day, so I'm going to take a day off. Just factor that in. If you're under a lot of stress, maybe you drop the volume. Maybe you're doing 2 sets. Let's say you're doing a total body workout or upper body workout. You're doing 2 sets for chest, 2 sets. Maybe you had a stressful couple of days. You only do 1 set and you drop the volume that you do because you're already fatigued. You're not overloading yourself too much. And then when things get better, then you can increase the volume a little bit back to your normal. So it's okay to adjust things. It's okay to add a recovery day or to adjust the volume. Fatigue isn't just your programming. You're not living in this, again, you're not living in this perfect vacuum where nothing else is affecting you. You're also dealing with other things in your life. So the more you manage your stress, and for a lot of you, maybe you can funnel that. Maybe you have a stressful, things are happening and they're stressful. You could funnel that into your workouts. Everyone's different, but understand you might have a great workout, right? So listen to this again. You might have a great workout because you had a stressful day. So you funneled it into your strength training and you had a great workout. You had a PR, whatever. It just might be the recovery might take a little bit longer. Maybe it needs an extra day just because of the external stresses. Danny Phantom 04, Papa Solio, how many rest days should I have? That depends. That's irrelevant. Like we just talked about that. That depends on your intensity, depends on your volume, depends on your schedule, depends on your split. You need ample recovery, and that's going to be different for person to person, depending on your split, depending on your goals, what you're prioritizing, this, that, and the other. In general, for the vast majority of people, I think the best split is upper lower. Full body is fine too. Full body 3 times a week, upper lower 4 times. I personally have been liking an every other day. Sometimes I'll train 2 days in a row, but I'll do a mobility day. I'll do one that's like less stressful. So I adjust, but I like an upper rest, lower rest, upper rest. That's kind of a sweet spot that I'm feeling. And when you understand that the goal is not to be sore, the goal is not to beat yourself bloody where you can't move your arms. The goal is not soreness. The goal is not to get a sick pump. The goal is to increase your strength. The goal is progressive overload. And if you're able to progressively overload all the time, like if you're on that pace, you don't have to be sore. You might be sore. I got sore in my chest, like really a couple days ago. I'm like, oh man, I really felt that because I did an extra set and whatever. Felt really sore, but that's not the goal. The goal wasn't to get sore. The goal was to, provide the proper stimulus and then recover as quickly as possible so I could do it again. And if you're seeing those numbers going up, then you're on the right track. Just keep in mind that sometimes those numbers go up and you might change your split where you have a little bit less recovery time, but you're seeing those numbers going up temporarily. And you're like, oh, this is great. I can train more often. I really like this. And then it plateaus. Because sometimes in the short term, you can handle it, but then you just burn out. You run out of steam. You didn't realize that you kind of were shaving off the edge of that recovery a little bit for the course of a week or two. And then eventually you kind of hit that wall. And I think a lot of times people have this idea that they have to feel fatigued. They have to feel fatigued. And if you don't feel fatigued, I didn't train hard. I know a lot of you have that. There are a lot of people in Swole Techs and the Swole fam that compulsively train, that feel like they have to beat the shit out of themselves. And if they're not wiped out, they're not exhausted, they're not absolutely destroyed, they didn't train and they feel guilty. I'm not really pushing it hard. That's not the goal. The goal is not to be lying in a puddle of your own sweat with your hands bleeding. That's not the goal of training. That's exhaustion. That's not helping you. That's maximizing fatigue. Are you trying to build muscle or are you trying to maximize fatigue? If you're trying to maximize fatigue, then do whatever the fuck you want. Go run a marathon, you'll maximize fatigue. Go do 50 sets and 30 rep sets and you'll maximize fatigue. You're not going to maximize muscle growth. So remember, muscle growth is the motor unit recruitment. It's that stimulus and then it's the recovery. So you have to find that balance with how often you train, how well you recover, your level of stress in your life, everything. And again, you need to find, and that's why Maximum Swole is great, because you find a program where you can manipulate and change based on your needs. And you have to make sure that you are adjusting for your needs. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. And you might like a certain split just because you like that split. Cool. If you're consistent with it, you really like it, and you're making progress with it, you know what I say. That's what it's all about. You can do a full body split. I've done it. It's kind of weird, but like, it's great. You can do it. You can do it. You have to find, and everyone's gonna be different. Some of you like to do 6 working sets in a workout. Some of you maybe do 10. I've done 10. And sometimes I could do it for a little bit. Sometimes, again, week to week, sometimes you can do more. Sometimes you could do less, but you can adjust these things. As long as you're seeing those numbers go up and your intensity is consistent. Whitey 18. What if I'm sick? Do I still go to the fucking gym? No. Booing a Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
All right, last question. All right, anyone else? Any questions? Going once, going twice, going sick gains with some butter on white rice. Ask Papa Swolio. We good? All right, let's go deep.
Fuck yeah!
I'm sure we got some videos. And let's see. Oof. I know we got that one. I'm glad this one was in my folder. Let's get into a couple things here. I thought this was interesting. Let's get into a couple of videos and then you guys can drop in the comments, see 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to play a couple of videos. We'll talk about the title of this episode. But let's play this one first. I think it's a good context because we're talking my intro monologue. I feel like it's one of those, like, Jimmy Fallon, like you come out, or David Letterman, you come out and have like a little bit of or Jay Leno, whatever. Do they still do opening monologues? Probably do. But was talking a little bit about Marxism and the victim mentality and the reason why when you play the victim, right, everyone's an attacker, everyone's an oppressor. Then you have this constant projected anxiety and everything is scary. Everything is bad. Everyone that doesn't agree with you is an other and someone to be feared and to be suppressed. Right. And this is where authoritarianism comes from. So I shared this. This is his name Konstantin Kisin? Anyway, it's an interesting video. Let's bring it up on the screen. I think the audio issue that I had the other day was fixed. And let's get a little bit of for you here.
They did an experiment with a group of women, and they put scars on their faces, and they told these women that they're going into a job interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to find out whether people with facial disfigurements face discrimination. They showed them the scars in the mirror. The women saw themselves with these scars, and as they led them out of the room, they said, we're just going to touch it up a little bit. And as they touched it up, they removed the scarring completely. So the women went into the job interview thinking that they are scarred, but actually being their normal selves. And the result of the experiment is that those women then came back reporting massively increased level of discrimination. Indeed, many of them came back with comments that the interviewer had made that they felt were referencing their facial disfigurements. And this is why I think this ideology of victimhood is so dangerous, because if you preach to people constantly that we're all oppressed, then that primes people to look for that. They didn't.
So very interesting video. In other words, you're putting this into people's minds over and over again. This is why the rhetoric is dangerous. You talk about systemic racism over and over again. You're oppressed and cops are killing black people, which doesn't happen. You know, usually it does happen, but when it does, it happens because they're being attacked or they're being shot at or they're getting attacked with a knife. You know, it's like, well, that's why the cops are retaliating or defending themselves, I should say. So in other words, if you have a victim mindset, everything, right? If you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If you're a victim, everyone is an oppressor, right? If you're oppressed, everyone is an oppressor. If you're marginalized, then everyone's after you. Everyone's attacking you. Everyone is an other. Everyone is bad. Everyone is dangerous. Everyone is dangerous. Words are violence. Everyone's coming to get you. Everything is coming to get you. You have no responsibility for anything that's happening. Everything is what they're doing. Stop them. Stop that. You know. So in other words, it perpetuates it. It creates itself. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's do this one because we need to lighten things up a little bit because I know a lot of people are stressed out about the outcome of the election. And I just want to, preface this again too. Whatever does happen, you can prepare. You can prepare for chaos. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. But don't get stressed out about it. Take action, speak up for what you believe in, do what you need to do for yourself and your family. But at the end of the day, you can't internalize all this stress and freak out and be like screaming and fanatical. You need to have a rational mind to make the right choices. And if shit goes sideways, you need to have your head screwed on straight so you can make that choice. And understand that there's only so much you can do. That's a lot of people. When you say 330 or 350, or if you count all the illegal, the criminal migrants, maybe 500 million. You have a lot of people that it's a lot to manage. And it's really a testament to the system that the founding fathers set up, that it's lasted this long with that many people. And it's just important to keep your head screwed on straight, think rationally. You do what you can do, but then aside from that, what else can you do? Like, I'm sitting here in Florida, I voted, I speak my mind. I try to give the information the way I see it and share my opinion. I listen, I make the decision. I tell people to check these podcasts out and this thing out. Hey, listen to this. Have you ever read that? Have you seen this? And then, I have family that's quote unquote bought and paid for, vote blue no matter who. I have family like that. And it's like, what's frustrating is that I can't have a conversation with them, not because it's me, it's because it's them. And I'm not just saying this because that's my view on it. They don't want to have a conversation about it. They don't want to talk about it. It's just, it's literally this. If I bring it up or if I want to share, oh, why do you feel that way?
Loud noises!
That's what I get. I get the loud noises. There's no logic. It's just emotional. Just, no, wrong. No, it's not good. They don't want to see longer clips that are taken out of context, right? Trump said this. No, actually he didn't. Did you listen to the 2 minutes or you just listen to the 4 seconds that were posted by Kamala HQ on Twitter? So it's a problem, but you can only do so much. So you share things and you do your thing, and you just can only do so much. You can prepare, and that's it. So check this out. I thought it was funny. I thought these guys for Kamala's campaign. I thought these guys have a lot of balls. And again, do you guys remember when, well, it was only a couple years ago when Biden, they were shipping migrants, all over in the middle of the night to other states and swing states, right? They were like flying thousands and thousands of criminal migrants around the country. So do you remember when, God, who the fuck was it? Was it DeSantis or was it Abbott? Who sent the illegals to Martha's Vineyard? When was it? Was that 2021? Who did that though? Was that Abbott or was that DeSantis? I forget who exactly it was, but remember they're all saying sanctuary state, sanctuary this, and then no, you have to get out of here. You have to get out of here. I think that's always very telling, right? They're the ones that are talking about open borders as long as it doesn't as long as it doesn't get into my castle, right? They are so welcoming. It's this toxic compassion. We want to let everyone else's houses burn. We want to destroy all the border cities and XYZ, but when it shows up on our doorstep, we don't want to do it. I'm not letting them in my house. No, not in our area. No, you have to go. You have to get out of here. So check this out. I thought this was funny. So this was shared. It says, guys posing as Kamala campaign workers went door to door trying to place illegal migrants in Democrats' homes. Fucking brilliant. I love it. Just the balls to do this. Absolutely. Yeah, not in my backyard. Correct. It's fucking hilarious. Check this out.
I dressed up like I work for Kamala's campaign, and now I'm gonna deliver immigrants to her supporters.
We are voting for you, don't worry.
Are you? Of course. We do have a surprise, if that's okay, just real fast.
You have a surprise?
We're looking for a place for them to stay. They just came across. They'll sleep on floors. I mean, they're not picky, you know.
We have like a 2-year-old, so...
Hector's good with kids.
Sorry, we just can't.
Could they just like sleep on your lawn?
They need a place to stay. They just came across.
My teenagers live with me.
Oh, that's fine. Hector, he was dating a teenager like a little bit ago, so...
Okay.
They just came across. They don't have papers. You're in support of like the whole border situation, and we're just trying to get them a floor to sleep on.
We're a house of COVID.
Do you guys want COVID? They said they could survive it.
We work with her, so we know how to say her name.
Earlier you said Kamala. The way she pronounces her name is Kamala. You don't work with her?
No, it's not.
See that car? We have 3 dudes who just came across the border. We're trying to find them a home.
Find them a home.
Just say I'm voting for Donald Trump without saying it, okay?
That's a wrong attitude, mister. I said my vote is private.
So you're voting Kamala?
No. You said it again.
I dressed...
You know what's crazy is that the libtards are always kicking and screaming like, you didn't say her name. Have you seen those Don Lemon on the street interviews? You didn't say her name right. She doesn't say her name right. Does everyone know that? Does everyone know that Kamala or whatever the fuck her name is? No one knows what her name is because she says it differently. She said it 4 or 5 different ways. So no one actually knows how to say her name. Who in the hell says their name wrong? Do any of you pronounce your own name wrong? Like on a regular basis, do any of you change how you say your name? So this whole idea, it's Kamala. No, she said it's Kamala. Who cares? Like she doesn't even know how to say it. That's why no one knows how to say her name. That's why no one knows how to say her name, because she said it like 3 or 4 different ways. Look it up. Look it up. And I'm just saying, it's not like, whoa, come on, that's stupid. No, it's not stupid. Is it? It's like, no, it's not stupid. I don't say I'm Papa Swole. I'm Papa Swole. I am Papa Swole. Who the fuck says their name wrong? Multiple. I love Hector. Hector was dating a teenager recently. A great follow on X is Naval. He says, and I've been quote tweeting because he's a lot of great short tweets. Single people vote for themselves. And I think this really summarizes the Democratic Party and especially like the liberal establishment and the reason why the Democratic Party has become the party of warmongers and big tech and authoritarianism. Single people vote for themselves. Married people vote for their kids. That kind of summarizes it up. So I quoted this and I said, thus cat lady syndrome has plagued our society. Now, this is not to say that everyone who's single votes retarded. This doesn't mean that just because you're single, you're not voting for Trump and you're not intelligent. But overwhelmingly, we can agree on this. If you are just you, if you don't have children, if you don't have people close in your environment, you don't have kids, you just have pets, it's like you're just voting for yourself. You're outliving your pets. Like you're not thinking about in that sense. In other words, when you have this more of a narcissistic approach, this more egocentric approach to your life. You make short-term decisions. You're not thinking long-term, right? This happens with financial decisions. You're not thinking long-term. What are you saving for the future for? Most people, when you have children, you're putting money away. You have life insurance. You have savings. You're thinking about the future so your kids can be better off. That's the whole point, right? You're thinking about the future. You take actions with a lower time preference because you're thinking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years into the future because you want your children and your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren to be better off. So you make decisions based on that. If it's just you, you want this now. You're afraid you want this now. You're afraid of the future. You're afraid of the future because you have nothing in the future for you. I want to say that again. You're afraid of the future. Progressives, people that are trying to change everything now, it's a compensation for fear of the future. All this change now, I'm doing all this stuff now. It's this navel gazing that allows them to not think about the future and to ignore the future because that scares them because they have no future. And understand that having children, having people living past you, that is what the future means. That's living beyond yourself. That gives you a purpose in life. And when people don't have a family, they don't have that kind of mindset. You make better decisions. We talk about this with fitness. Like it all relates to, it's all the same thing. All these different avenues, right? Fitness, politics, social, financial. It's delaying instant gratification for the future. When you go to the gym, are you stronger and ripped and leaner in that day? No, of course not. It takes years. It's cumulative, right? It snowballs. It's over time. It's delayed gratification. You can't change your training split and see results that day. You might like it today. No, I felt great today. Great workout today. Well, today didn't get you results. It's today plus tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next week and the next month and the next year and the next decade. That's what gets you results. Spending money on credit and buying shit you don't need, that doesn't build you wealth. Investing it, putting it aside, this kind of stuff, that builds wealth. Making better decisions and sacrificing the short-term gratification for long-term benefit. So if you have no future, if you have nothing to look forward to, you have this constant anxiety. That's why it's the fear-mongering. It's the other side. Trump is Hitler. Climate change. We're going to have this fucking apocalypse, and the world's going to burn and everything is going to be, the cows are farting and destroying the earth. All this bullshit. Because they have constant anxiety. They have constant fear of the future. They fear the future. So it's easy just to install and plug different things in and fear this too. This isn't the future. Fear this. This is coming. Fear this. This is coming. Fear that. They just plug one thing after another. Trump's gonna, they're gonna they're gonna force you to have children. Oh, for one, that's not happening. But the horror, the culture of one side of the aisle, quote unquote, wants you to have a loving family. How horrible that is. You have one side that's trying to kill their grandkids. I'm doing this. I'm voting Kamala for my daughter's reproductive rights. You're voting to kill your grandkids? Solid. Maybe better education. Maybe teaching your daughter to close her fucking legs. Maybe that'll be a good idea. Maybe that'll be a good idea. And for the record, again, I think there's situations where, abortion is necessary or would be acceptable. I do think there's a middle line. You have to, life is not black and white always. But, the lies that have been perpetuated, we all know this when with the repealing or whatever you call it of Roe v. Wade, it doesn't take away any of this. It doesn't take away your rights. Birth control is still available. It's always going to be condoms fucking pulling out, for God's sake. It's, live where you want to live and vote locally. That's important. The federal government should have no control over this stuff. The federal government should have no control over your personal day-to-day. The stuff with Peanut the squirrel, killing that guy's pet, it's disgusting overreach. This is what government does. This is what government does. And by the way, I will say that the sick people online, if you don't know that story, you could look it up, that said I'm glad that MAGA squirrel is dead. A lot of you know how many of you have read the books? You read Dune? Some people have seen the movie, and some of you have read the first book. I've read all of them. And I'm not going to give away, much, but there's always the straw that broke the camel's back. There's always that that ignition, that spark. And if you remember the books from Dune, and I hope I don't butcher this, but the Butlerian Jihad, if you remember from the Dune movies, if you saw the movie, I mean, you'll understand enough. They have mentats. They have these men, people that are trained to do complex computations because they've outlawed in the past. They have essentially like a religious uprising to destroy AI and computers, because I forget the exact story, but an AI or a robot killed this woman's daughter or child, and everyone lost their fucking mind. It was like the last straw. And then there was a huge revolution, and the earth was practically destroyed from like nuclear fallout because humans just bombed machines into oblivion and banished machines. And then fled Earth, and, you know, you have all this other stuff. But, you know, that's kind of like the authoritarian overreach. It has like that one moment where it ignites a lot of people. Like, just imagine people show up at your door, and think of how arbitrary that is. Forget the fact that it's a squirrel. It's a pet. Okay. It's a pet. It's not going to live in the wild. It's not harming anyone. You love it. So look at your dog. I look at Pinkston. What's the difference between my Chihuahua and a squirrel? Okay, I know they are literally different. About the same size. Literally about the same size. People show up at my house. I don't know if you saw the dude's house. Tore apart his house. Took his pets and euthanized them. If that doesn't piss you off at like a foundational, just in your bones, like that is so infuriating and disgusting. Literally, these people should be thrown in prison and throw away the fucking key. And that's how serious it is. Because if you think they won't do that to take away your kids, they're already doing that. They're doing that if your child says, well, I'm a girl. No, you're not. Hey, you know, my parents won't let me take puberty blockers. Well, they're not fit to be parents. That's child abuse. You're not massaging their gender identity. You know, that's not compassionate, and they'll remove your kids, you know, and cut their dicks off. That already has happened. So if you just imagine your dog or your cat, whatever you care about, like your child, let's just take the pets, for example. They show up to your house and they take your fucking pet because there's some law or they decided to do it, and they euthanize your fucking pet. Would you not lose your fucking mind? I lost my mind when Pinkston freaking ran away for like 6 hours. If that happened, oof. Some sick shit. It's not a small deal. It's not a small deal. If you think these things don't scale and they don't get worse, they will, and they do. All right, a couple other things, because this is the crux, and we're just going to go a little bit deeper today. I reposted this on X from Matt Walsh, and we did this in 2020. We did this over the years, right? If you're looking at this, DC businesses are boarding up due to nervousness about the election. Why are they boarding up? Are DC businesses boarding up because all those Trump supporters are going to go rioting in the streets with bricks and bats and violence? Are Trump supporters going to burn the whole fucking city down? Because January 6th was an insurrection. Without getting into that sham, Matt Walsh says there is only one party that loots and destroys businesses when they're mad about something. Literally only one party has ever done this, and it's not Republicans, and that's true. They're not boarding up because of Trump supporters. They're boarding up because of Antifa and the communists. That's why they're boarding up. Okay. So let me, I'm going to pause this. All right. I want to share this because I post on this. And this was yesterday, 15 hours ago. So what does that make it? 9 p.m. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I think it's very interesting and I think it was very smart. So this is just from Joe Rogan. Had Elon Musk, definitely listen to the podcast, the Elon Musk podcast. I'm almost done with it. He posted this last night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. I believe that was. And he said, the great and powerful Elon Musk, if it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump. Enjoy the podcast. I saw that and I was like, finally, Joe, good for you. Because you have a lot of people like Lex Friedman and other people that are like, we have to, do this, go out and vote, go do it. But there's I'm going to say it. A lot of these podcasters, maybe it's Andrew Huberman or Lex Friedman, a lot of these, because I think a couple of them posted about it. A lot of them, and I don't I don't listen to their podcasts, but a lot of these people are pussies. They toe the line. They're obsessive fence sitters. They're pretending to be neutral. And there's a time to be neutral. I understand that. As if you were like a beacon of conversation and, I want to share both sides and hear things out. You can have an opinion and still have a good conversation, like Joe. He's going to have a conversation. He wanted to have Kamala on. He can still have an opinion and still be neutral and be insightful in a conversation. I think it is very short-sighted, and I think it's very weak for these people that have a large platform that are trying to insinuate that they're supporting Trump, but they won't say it. As if they're being more virtuous because they don't have an agenda. They're not picking a side. Yo, when you take advertising, there's an agenda. You have people paying you to do what you do. A lot of people, a lot of these podcasts, I'm not saying this because I don't take spot, but I don't have any ads. I don't run ads for other people. I'm not taking money from anyone else. The Swole fam, you buy merch, you join Swolenormous X. That's all that this is. So a lot of these people read off tons of ads on their podcast, but then pretend to be like fence sitters. And in the middle, it's weakness. It's weakness. When there's such a blatant good versus evil, right and wrong, you have to voice an opinion. It's just weakness. It's a cop-out, and it doesn't fly. You can say you support Trump and still have good conversations and listen to both sides and have a community. You have to change how you communicate. But to have a large platform and to really know what the right decision is and everyone around, it's soft, it's weak, and it's pretty pathetic in my opinion. I understand why they're trying to say that, but I think it's just like this delusional virtue that they're trying to pretend like there's some sort of, as if they're not human. I can be completely impartial. It's like, dude, are you not voting at all then? Not voting is a vote for Kamala, right? I see people, I'm voting. I don't believe in each one. I'm voting because this person doesn't support every single one of my beliefs. So I'm writing in a different vote. Well, that's a vote for anarchy and decay. That's a vote for Kamala Harris. Like, you're not voting, your vote third party. You're a pussy and you're short-sighted and you're just ignorant. And people try to justify it to make them seem so they can, I don't know. It's this weird, it's just this weird ego flex. Like, you think you're a better person or you're a more pious person. It's just unfortunate. I said something like that. I want to look it up. Because first off, you can look at whatever, you can listen to whatever you want. I personally can't listen to, you guys maybe have heard like Lex Friedman's podcast. I can't listen to I can't listen to 5 minutes. I fall asleep and I just like, today is an episode with, I just can't, I can't listen to him talk. It just drives me fucking insane. But he has a big podcast and people listen to him. So I have nothing against him personally either, but I don't like his, I don't like what he says in terms of this. Let me see here. A couple things just for the context. Cause he gets millions of views. He goes October 25th. So like 10 days ago, whatever it was, he goes, I hope this election is not a close one for everyone's sake. Go vote. Okay. This whole idea, like rock the vote, push the vote. I will be honest with you. Most people should not be voting. So I just go vote. It's just, who's the, like vote what? Like what? What are you talking about? Just go vote. Voting doesn't solve the issue. You know what I mean? Just voting doesn't like the act of like pushing a button does like is the answer to everything. There's a reason why there's a problem today. It's not because of just the voting. But that's not even the worst one. This is 20 hours ago. I commented on that, or I saw that and I was like, ugh, it's just so weak. It's so weak. And he's a black belt. He's a smart guy, but so I'm not saying like weak, like it's soft. It's like a soggy noodle. And it just kind of like, ugh. And this guy could kick my ass. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's like, I mean, it's not about that. So he says, 20 hours ago, political season has brought out the worst in many people. Extreme division in itself is a bigger danger to our nation than either candidate. Okay. Don't believe anyone who's telling you to hate the other side. We're in this together. Tomorrow, go vote. You see what I'm saying? It's like, what? What are you talking about? One side actively wants criminal aliens to pour over the fucking border and to rape your children. California literally has laws biased towards criminals. They want you to suffer. They want chaos. They do want fast tracks to amnesty and to citizenship for illegals. So it could become a one-party state just like California. And California is a shithole. Not all of California, but the dense urban areas poison the whole state. Like, what is this? Tomorrow, go vote. What the fuck are you talking? Like, that's so weak. Oh, my post popped up. I said, just say it, dude. Everyone afraid to say that Trump is the only choice. There's no time to pretend to be neutral. And then everyone's saying, Health Ranger, does it hurt your balls to straddle the fence for so long? So I'm not the only one that says this. We're talking about, I'm just reading some other responses. I'm not the only one. Kevin Sonderegger, Lex, you have no convictions, backbone, or children. You don't sound wise. You sound like a fool. Go get a woman pregnant and have a child and quit trying to sound like the village elder. Savage. A little too savage. Nah, it's never too savage. Let's see. John says, so let's sing Kumbaya with those who would have us live in tyranny because it makes you feel bad to face reality. I call that selfish. Your warm and fuzzy feeling is not worth giving up one's ideals for. There's a difference between truth and lie. There's a difference. Where does this go? There's a difference between right and wrong. And if you can't tell the difference, then maybe it's time you sat down and defined how you see good and evil. Like, yeah, how about this one? Right? Lex, you should put your country over financial interests and endorse Trump. You know full well you have a moral imperative to do so. This is just like and most people in the comments agree. It's like, I understand, we don't want violence, but we don't want those things. But to deny the obvious for someone who's supposed to be an intellectual, is supposed to think critically and have heard this, it's a very obvious choice. It's very obvious. If you pay attention, and if you're a leftist or a Democrat, you're not paying attention. You're seeing headlines. You're hearing Rachel Maddow spew bullshit. We're going to get into that in a second. I know today's episode is a little bit longer because it's election day. And this is, we only have one of these, even though it's probably going to go on for weeks. Anyway, and this is not just about Lex Friedman. This is just something that I saw on my feed and I answered it. But you have, just to get back to that, for context, if you don't know who that is, I mean, he does a lot of very big podcasts. So on X, look at the following. 3.8 million followers. Now, let me be clear about this. This is not like a YouTube following. Oh, I have a big YouTube channel. This is not TikTok. I have 6.4 or 5 million on TikTok. It's not big TikTok page. It's not a big Instagram page. Twitter is like the OG. Like if you have a large following on Twitter, on X, like you are very well known. That's like the most exposure when you have a huge following on X. That's like the most, I would say the most valuable, but that's like, you could have, come on, how many people have 5 million on YouTube? And you're like, who the fuck is this? Like, how do these people have so many millions of followers? You're like, who is that? I've never even heard that person. So many people have so many subscribers and followers, and you realize how many people there are in the world. So many people can have 5 or 10 million followers. I have no idea who that person is. How is that possible? Aside from bots and stuff, it's like, who the fuck is that? And so 3.8, that's a lot. So to be like this political season, it's such division, so much anger. Be nice to everyone. We're in this together. Go vote. It's like, shut the fuck up. Seriously. It's just, dude, stop being a huge pussy. That's what it comes down. It's like, enough. Have some fucking integrity. It's not just an opinion, but stand behind something. Seriously. It's grotesque. It's gross. It's gross. It's weak. Weakness is a virus. And it's just how I feel about it. You don't have to agree, but it just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like this. It's too soft. Speaking of soft and speaking of weakness, if you've heard of Harry Sisson, he's one of these twink 20-year-old Democratic paid operatives that obsessively just suckle the toes of the establishment and post, no matter what it is, no matter who it is, it was Biden suckling Biden's, you know what, and then it's Harris, just whatever blue is, it's just blue no matter who, right? And these kids are paid for that. So I thought this was funny because it's super gay. I wish this was a joke in the sense, like, I thought it was a joke at first, and then I realized, oh my God, it's not a joke. How is this not a joke? So he posts this picture, maybe one of the gayest pictures I've ever seen in my life, saying straight white dudes for Kamala Harris. So I saw this, and people have a right to post whatever. I'm not going to say like you should not be allowed to post. I'm not trying to censor this person, but I notice if you are straight, you don't have to tell people that you're straight. It's a very not interesting. It's a very strange thing to say. The guy, these look like them, honestly. And, you can like who you want to like. These are literally the gayest people I've ever seen in my life. We have gay friends. I have nothing against gay people. I'm just saying, like, this is the most effeminate little boys I've seen in a long time. Like, really, really feminine, like, gay men. Like this dude, I don't know who this is, but this dude here, like second from the right, like that is a gay man. They all are. I've never posted anything, just saying, I've never posted anything saying, I'm a straight white man for Trump. Like, what? I wouldn't even say I'm a white man voting for Trump because I'm not obsessed with race. I am a man. I'm just saying I'm voting for Trump. Actually, the way I say it is I'm voting for Trump because I'm not retarded. You guys know that. That's what I say. But straight white dudes for Kamala Harris. So I quoted this and I said, people that are actually straight don't have to tell people that they're straight. How is that relevant? You only say that you're straight to try to convince people, or you're not convincing anyone. You're not convincing anyone. You're trying to convince yourself that you're straight. Which, again, I'm just going to break down this illogic. So if you're saying that you're straight, you're trying to convince yourself that you're straight, which is, what about your lived experience? What about your true self? What about your authentic self? If you are denying the fact that you're not straight by trying to convince people that you're straight, are you saying that you hate yourself? Are you saying that you hate gay people? Why don't you just admit that you're gay and live your true self? Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing here, right? Who you truly are? So you're saying you hate gay people? Is that very weird? The party of compassion and acceptance is like, I'm in denial. No, I'm not gay. No, I'm a straight white dude for Kamala Harris. That's the most epic oxymoron ever. I'm a straight white dude for Kamala Harris. Well, again, contradictions. There are no contradictions. If you come across a contradiction, check your premises. One of them is wrong. You're for Kamala Harris, all right, but you ain't straight. Okay?
Because emotional, damn it.
Just saying. And again, just like Seinfeld, not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Like, fine. You like dick. A lot of people like dick. Mama Swole likes dick. A lot of people like penis. There are a lot of people, you just happen to be 4 of them. That's all I'm saying. Any questions? All right, let's check out some communism. Did you guys pick some numbers? You probably did. I agree. Jarella says nobody cares who you fuck unless I'm trying to get up on you. I don't care who you. Again, I don't care. I just thought that was like, it's just cringe. This is white men for Harris. Really cringe. You didn't have to say straight. Again, I didn't write the post. I didn't take a picture and was like, look at these guys. He posted it. Again, if you're just listening, I didn't post this. I quoted it. I referenced it. He did this straight. He did this. He did this himself. Can you imagine putting yourself? He gets roasted all the time because he's an idiot. Straight white dudes. Just put white. Why straight? Cracks me up. It's like, dude, just come out already. We all know. We all know. You brought up the sexuality. Why, dude? Because you're gay. All right. Enjoy it. Enjoy the peepees. Enjoy it. Get over it. All right. We're going to do one more video. I don't want to do these skinny and fat preference. We didn't talk about any of that stuff. Not today. We'll get back into whatever. This one, let's end with this one and make sure you go vote. Look, I'm just going to come out and say it. If you are, I don't know if anyone watching this or listening to this is undecided, but if you care about this country, if you care about the future generations, if you care about the economy, if you care about quality food, if you care about good versus evil, if you actually care about morality, you vote for Donald Trump, you vote for Make America Healthy Again, you vote for the Party of Unity, you vote Trump. I'm just going to come out and say, I'm not afraid to say it. That's what I believe. I can back up what I'm saying. And if that gets you angry and like, oh, you're mean, you're dumb, you're stupid, then you don't have an argument. Okay. So let's watch this. This is from, I saw this before. I've seen this already. She's not scary because she's just a gross person, Rachel Maddow, but this is, just listen to what she says and take it seriously because this is what's coming. Remember Peanut and Fred, right? The raccoon, Peanut the squirrel. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. She's not coming up with this shit on her own. She's already insane. Rachel Maddow has been gone for a decade. More than that. All right. Just watch this video.
Even if Trump doesn't win, the Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government.
Why?
The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him.
Did you hear what she said?
The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him.
Or we are going to steal your property, AKA communism, authoritarianism. We are going to steal your companies. That's your private property. That's your personal property. That's yours. It's going to have to unwind from him, meaning imprison him, steal his property, pin some garbage crime on him so you could throw him in prison and steal his personal.
An untenable reality.
Because you're insane.
In national security terms. Now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
What do we know about Elon Musk?
Unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality in national security terms.
Why?
Now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
What do we know about Elon Musk? That he supports the big bad orange man? Oh, he doesn't agree with you? So we have to steal his personal property? We'd still have astronauts stranded in space if it wasn't for Elon Musk, right? You guys saw that? It got smothered in the media because Boeing is a hot fucking pile of garbage. Elon Musk had to step in because NASA's garbage. Elon Musk had to step in and save the astronauts in space, but no praise from the media. No one gave a shit, right? No one gave him any fucking credit unless you're on X and like you're paying attention, you're getting news. If you're not on X, you are not getting news. You're not getting news. You're paying attention to Fox. You're paying attention. You get some stuff from Fox, but your MSNBC, CNN, like you're getting propaganda. NPR, ABC, NBC. You're getting propaganda. You're getting garbage. You're just getting lied to over and over again. If you're watching and listening to any of these things, your New York Times, it's garbage. And it's not just incorrect, it's active lies. It's just opinion page. It's just absolute nonsense. Now what we know about Elon Musk. What do you know about Elon Musk? That he doesn't agree with you? That he supports Trump? Good. Good. If Trump wins, it's going to be not single-handedly. If Trump wins, man, it's going to be the people to thank is going to be Scott Presler and fucking Elon Musk. And Scott Presler's been doing amazing work in Pennsylvania. So if Pennsylvania goes for Trump, it's because of that dude, Scott Presler. You can look him up. What a beast. Anyway, but yeah, interesting and wild times. We will keep tabs on it. Hashtag lift for a chance to win today's Swole card. All right, lift. Here we go. Let's give away today's Swole card. Are you ready? Jesus.
Oh, I got a winner.
We got a winner. On the room blay. Dallin G. Lift. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3105 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations, Dallin G. Okie dokie. All right. So congratulations, Dallin. And just in closing, I know we had, I don't know, kind of like a neutral show. We had a little bit of it was a good show today. Good show today. Again, don't stress. You do what you can do. I do want to make an announcement. So the last couple months, a lot of you have asked about Papa Swolio. She had cancer. So she, and it ramped up pretty quick. She was great, and it ramped up pretty quick. She had a rough couple, like last week or so, a couple good days. So last night, we had to make the call to send her to the Rainbow Bridge, so to speak. So I know a lot of you loved her and you have her merch and all that stuff. So yesterday was the last day, but it was a beautiful day and she spent it outside, and she was having a bunch of issues. Like it really racked her body really quick. So we have videos back in like June of her running, and for those that don't know, that's her. She was 20 years old. So yeah, it's the first day without her. And before the show, Pinkston runs in here and Tainty Man runs in here, and then she runs in to get her treat, and then she would leave because she doesn't fucking give a shit anymore. But yeah, so last couple days, this was a little picture. This was actually, I don't know if it's going to show up on the stream. Oops. Oh, so this was at like 4:30. So it was at 6:30 when we put her down. So this is like the last picture of them all together. And that was last night. And just for some other context, yeah, she lost a lot of weight, but she was a little ball of muscle. So all the training and stuff that I was doing for her and the beef and all that stuff, it was really good for her. I just felt like, not to bring down the show, but I think a lot of you shit, a lot of you have her merch. A lot of you, you remember you were on the show for years and years when she was on it every day. And so this was, let's see, I have just a couple of pictures. So this was, it's going to show up on the screen. Yeah, so this is, I guess this was yesterday or this was 2 days ago. It was yesterday, the day before. So she was just really tired and it was hard for her to walk. And she was just sleepy. Such a good girl. Let's see. Let's see what else I got. I got a bunch of videos. Can we bring Papa merch back? I think we have it. I don't think we ever got rid of it. Yeah. This one's one of my favorite ones. I always loved it when she ran. So anyway, Circle of Life. It happens. I know a lot of you loved her too. She was a big part of the show and she's been around since fucking hell. Around for a long time. Yeah, so rough day, rough night. It's in and out. Mama Swole's. She's doing good, but it's really rough. But it was good. It was the perfect final day. It was beautiful sunset, beautiful day. She was outside the whole time. Yeah. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna share that and let you guys know, but you guys deserve to know because you all know her. And I got a lot of pictures, so maybe we'll do a little feature. Maybe we'll do a little Papa Swolio, little feature montages throughout the week or throughout the year. Whatever I want. But she's always there. She's always there. So anyway, thank you to everyone with your love. We do have Papa merch. But just, when we did it, it was good. Like she was in a lot of, and you guys know that you have that moment where she looks in your eyes and she's like, I'm done. It was really hard for her to walk. Like she would still get up and kind of like, she would lay down and kind of like her upper body, her face would kind of go down, her butt would stay up, like her joints would kind of lock. Like it was lymphoma, so it was all over her, and it went really, really fast. Like 2 weeks ago, I have videos of her like just walking around. It was just real fast, really fast. But I'm glad I wasn't drawn out for like 2 or 3 years or something. It wasn't like a slow decline. It was like really, really rapid. But she was 20 years old. She was really, really old. And you guys remember it wasn't kind of recently she was on the show, right? I would like show the video and like, oh, she was in the corner, like, oh, Papa Swole, like, yeah, like it was kind of like that. So there was a lot of good there too. And then over the weekend, it was actually like a lot of times dogs will have a little burst and they'll have a couple good days and she had that. She had like the weekend was pretty good. Saturday and Sunday was good. And then, what was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday morning was rough and she was just out of it. She was tired, just like slept and laying around. It was time for her. So anyway, wanted to let you guys know. So rest in beef. Rest in beef, papas. And that is all. Yeah, begging for belly rubs. Yep. Well, now she's getting all the belly rubs. I don't know who's rubbing her belly though. Maybe my grandparents are rubbing her belly. Someone better be rubbing her belly. But she's laying in the sun somewhere. All right, Beaches, thanks for being here. Appreciate your love and support. Never easy. But yeah, we decided yesterday, like once in the morning. It was like the way the morning went. It was all of a sudden, it was like, oof, and it was, now's the time. Yeah, Christy's giving her belly rubs. And she's sitting there while Christy's doing legs. That's right. That's right. Christy's giving her belly rubs. I like that. Lady Hawk says 20 years is a good life, but it's hard to let go after that long. Yeah, it's a long time. But she also hasn't been, it's been a little bit, you get to that point where it's like, it's a good thing. It's like once her heart stopped, like when we gave like the second injection, it was kind of like it was nice. It was a nice release. It was almost like, oh, phew. Because it's hard to see her like that. But it's been a little bit since she was active and running around. Like, like she lost a lot of muscle and weight, but because she had so much muscle and bone strength on her already, she lasted a lot longer than she probably would have. And this is why, like, if you get sick or you have some of these issues or illnesses, it's really important to have muscle mass because it's bone density too. And that helps you last longer when you have these kinds of issues. Like Christy probably went a lot longer than she would have because she was taking care of herself and the best she could. So yeah, no more pain. And the thing is, like, she never made any noise. She never made a sound. She would just get up and kind of like, her arm was like out to the side, and she would walk and then kind of like lay down. And she was just, it wasn't the same dog. It wasn't the same dog, but she had some good days. So we're like, oh, we'll just play it day by day. And then yesterday morning, it was like today. It's just like, no, it's time. So it was really nice. We had family over and everyone was there and it was good. It was like the perfect day because now it's a little bit, it's not sunny. It's a little bit cloudy and kind of windy. It's getting a little bit gnarly today. But yesterday was like a beautiful day. Sun, it was peaceful. It was quiet. Nice breeze. It was gorgeous. And then a beautiful sunset. So it was a good day. It was a good last day. So, all right. So that's that. Gonna go vote. Go make some gains. Give your puppers a belly rub for Papa, and we'll see you tomorrow for 3106. Appreciate everyone for being here. And yeah, you guys didn't expect that, right? Threw that in at the end. Oh, by the way, but everyone else is doing good. Dogs are doing good. They sniffed her and they were there when it happened. And, Pinky's over here. It's just hard because, like in the picture, like Pinky, they were always in the same bed and Pinky would like lay on her and snuggle with her. And yeah. So, but it's also fun. It's not the ideal circumstances, of course, but it's nice. Like this kind of stuff triggers going through all the, because you guys know you take pictures and you might have one that you say like, oh, I like this picture. And I send it to Mama Swole or this, but I'll take like 15 pictures or videos. And it's like, you go back and I'm starting to scroll through my phone and you guys know you have like, who knows how many fucking pictures or saved photos and screenshots. And I go back, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about this video. Oh my God. So I haven't gone back and looked through any of this stuff. So I'm seeing shit that I forgot and memories I forgot. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh my God, I got these pictures. So I have so many videos and so many pictures. So it's actually been kind of nice looking through all those things that you take pictures, you move on, you don't really look through it. So it's nice going back and reviewing all the things that I forgot about, all those memories. Yeah, so many pictures. You go through them like, oh my God, I forgot this. And it's like, oh, this is like 7 years ago. And I remember that moment, like, oh, she used to lay there. I have pictures of her laying in the old office and on the floor with Tessie and the Swole card, like laying on. Remember she used to like eat the Swole card or like move and like flip it off or push it off the bed and all that stuff. Yeah. So it happens. It happens. Yeah. Yeah, lots of good memories. So anyway, that's that. And at least we won't have to deal with that hopefully for a while because both of these puppers are 3 years old. So anyway, thanks for being here. Go vote, go make some gains, go hug your pups, go for a walk, get some sun on your nips, Go walk in some snow. I don't know what you guys do when you're not in the sun. I guess there's places that have snow now. And we'll see you tomorrow for 3106. Peace out, beaches. Peace, McGee's, deuce, magoose. Yeah, boy. Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons out closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element.